Why don't we talk about Synopsis? Because talk about a company that's got some work that it's going to have to do to support all this AI explosion, Pat.
Yeah, so Synopsys is tip of the spear for all this chippery, right? Not only do they do EDA for SoCs and chips and IP, but they also do system simulation, and they've got this big potential ANSYS acquisition that should hit in 25. But listen, they beat on revenue, or they met on revenue, but they beat on EPS by 4%. They got a great lift on the stock market. They had record quarterly revenues of 21%. Big op inc increase at 3.5%. But no, I like the way that they came out and talked about their industry first, right? First GAA, that's gate all around, ARM Cortex X tape out, leading mobile supplier. By the way, this is a company you have to listen to the earnings call to actually get it. But they had some really great highlights on AI, showing how it's getting, DSO.ai drove a 20% revenue uplift, winning multi-die package designs, record revenue and software integrity. But no, very solid thing. And I'm really interested to see, I think that Synopsys is going to be one of these power brokers, like big power brokers in the next 5 years. I don't know if they'll be the next NVIDIA, but I got to tell you, this space is so hot. It's democratizing the way that companies can do design, right? It would have been nuts to think that an AWS or a Microsoft could develop their own SoC. But with tools from companies like Synopsys and Cadence, it's the real deal.
Yeah, I had the chance to talk to their CFO, Sheila Glazer, and it was good to get the kind of rundown. I think you said something that was worth double clicking on, Pat, and this is not a company that you can just sort of tap in for a moment and get. What they're doing is so important between the second largest portfolio of IP for chip makers, as well as EDA. And now the ANSYS deal is going to make them an even bigger power broker. By the way, the size of that deal is not, immaterial. I mean, you look at that. That was like, remember how big you thought the AMD Xilinx deal was? Similar in size. Why is this? Because this era of building chips, this multi-trillion-dollar sort of economic expectation, and you can talk about whether that's chips, infrastructure, electricity, design, whether it's packaging, like all the different things that go into that. But there's a lot of complexity, and there's also a lot of companies and players that want to enter the market. They want to speed execution, they want to speed design, they want to, continue to advance with the most powerful designs, as well as, again, trying to address the sustainability issues, which, Pat, this is a practical version of that, not a greenwashed version of that. We're going to be deploying massive amounts of scale to compute, and that's going to require a ton of consideration. So whether it's the generative AI tools that they're using to streamline and shorten the design cycles, or it's the IP that their customers are able to license, this company is going to be more and more critical, more in the forefront of the discussion around AI. And as long as AI continues to be the boon, by the way, AI will fuel more regular compute chips. AI will fuel more networking chips. AI will, fuel more lagging edge chips. All this stuff kind of happens, and it all coincides. And I think, we always want this sort of zero sum, like, oh, it's all about the leading edge, newest node AI chip. But like, look at a vehicle. It went from a handful to dozens to hundreds to thousands of chips. This is a variety of silicon that's going to be in these intelligent vehicles. And Pat, it's companies like Synopsys that are going to be critical to the contributions required to put these things together. So, you kind of hit on the results. They're good results. The leadership of the company seems to be doing the right things operationally on margins. They moved the midpoint up on guidance. They seem to be stable on profitability. It was just an overall really good quarter. But it's a company you're going to need to spend a little more time to understand. It's not GPUs or CPUs that people kind of all get. There's a lot of very specific technical prowess that is underneath this company. But they are, Pat, the they're the critical partner to just about every one of these major fabless and design and manufacturers of silicon in the world.
Yeah,
So,
statistically, you know, Synopsys and Cadence both get. You have to buy both of them because they have some different strengths and weaknesses. But good talk.
yeah, well, I mean, we're playing the game out there for everybody that wants to know. By the way, when people kind of go, what are the other picks for AI? Like whenever, because the natural gravity is always about to pick one of two things. It's either the chip or the software that everybody knows. This is the software and IP that nobody knows is out there. And when you're kind of trying to say, what are the kind of smart companies to maybe invest in? This could be one. Again, we're not giving investment advice.